So this is Robbie with Believe in the Run, and today I'm here with Bryan Poerner, CEO of North America for Diadora. Bryan, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
We're gonna talk a little bit about all new shoe we got coming out here, the Diadora Atomo V7000. But maybe you can tell me a little bit more about this shoe and what goes into it. I know we've reviewed a lot of Diadora shoes in the past, Mythos Vola, Vigore. What makes this shoe different? Maybe kind of what's gone into the creation of the shoe as well. Do you want to go over that?
Yeah, so the V7000 is created in our headquarters in Carano di San Marco. So the interesting thing that we're able to do at Diadora is conceptualize, prototype, and even build models of our footwear in Italy. So when we complete the manufacturing cycle in Italy, we want our highest expression of what a training shoe could be.
You were talking to me about this earlier, and you said that basically everything can be prototyped in-house and kind of tested on the fly in the trails or in the roads in the Dolomites over there.
Right.
And then you can kind of come back and tweak the formula and everything.
Yeah, so if you think about it, since we have manufacturing on site, we're in a region north of Venice, maybe 45 minutes, right on the edge of the Dolomites. So it's a bunch of Prosecco vineyards rolling up into the mountains.
Sounds delicious.
It's amazing. So you have all these crushed gravel roads that split all the vineyards and some very unbusy roads. So you can go and prototype the shoe and then go for a run and come back and maybe adjust the toe box. You have people making shoes in-house. We've had the factory there 70 years. So be able to manufacture, be able to prototype and build shoes that way is a really interesting process.
And this shoe actually is made in Italy, correct?
And then a lot of our shoes are made in Asia or other parts of Europe. The end cycle for pricing regions. But we always want to be bringing more and more manufacturing back to Italy. That's why we started with the Atomo version 1 last year. It was the first made in Italy shoe in 30 years. So this is our second version.
Very cool.
Our goals for the future are to be using more Italian companies, Italian know-how, and even bringing more know-how into the shoe.
Awesome. All right, so let's talk about the shoe, kind of what its purpose is and how it fits into the Diadora line.
Yeah, so it's a high mileage, neutral trainer. The real end goal is experiential. So where you forget about the shoe and you think about the run itself, and you could notice the trail, you can notice the surroundings, but really forget about the footwear. At Diadora, we have two different lines of product. We have Mythos, which is set up for like correcting problems, right? So if you have supination and pronation issues and you want some help and guidance with that, we have that. And then we have our Equip line, which is the Nucleo and now the Atomo V7, which is experiential, right? So like you just want to feel running. You just want your heart to explode because you really are like, those runs you finish where you're thinking about the run and you want to call somebody and be like, that's what we want the shoe to feel.
And then you call someone and they're like, stop talking about running. You do this at every party we're at. Okay, so let's go into the midsole. I know this is your DD Anima midsole technology. Also, the drop on this is 31.25, so reasonably cushioned without being max cushion, but also, has that nice just kind of ride that you want underfoot. So maybe talk about that foam and how that fits in.
Yeah, sure. First, design-wise, there was a shoe from '92 from us called the V7000. We love the design of the shoe. We think it's beautiful. So we took the design language of the shoe and used it as a starting block for this, and then we modernized it. First, the upper, we use a lot of let's say fake microfibers that are current for today. So it hugs your foot really nice. The midsole is the DD Anima compound that we were able to lighten and get some more bounce out of. So even though it's 2 millimeters higher than the original Atomo, we can get a lighter weight end product out of it.
Yeah, I mean, that was the nice thing about this shoe is like there's a lot of nice elements to it. And a lot of times that adds up to a lot of weight in some shoes, but this came in pretty light. I know it's like in the sub 9.5 ounce range, I believe for men's size 9. So it is nice on the run in that way. And again, like you talked about these micro foam suede overlays, really nice kind of element. And again, you talked about the design from the early 90s of the shoe. And obviously you could see that reflected in a modern way, which is something I really like about it.
Yeah, we started at the V7000 because the experience we're talking about is the experience that we remember with that shoe. So we used it as the template for the footwear.
And then you got this rubber outsole kind of zigzag pattern, save a little weight with the cutouts here, but it seems like decent enough rubber coverage for grip on the roads. I will say, I think this is the best Diadora shoe I've worn to date. And I like the Mythos Volo a good amount as well. So really excited to get some more miles in this. I think it's a really nice running product at like a, with also that looks good. And I know I've talked about this before and it's not the central focus of Diadora. I think it's one of those things that comes out of the passion for the brand, which is making beautiful looking shoes that also perform well. It's a great pair of shoes just to wear around, even if you're not running. To me, that matters, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we focus on the creation of the performance product, making sure that, you know, the man or woman running in the product can go do 10 miles, 15K, and feel super comfortable in it.
Oh yeah.
Design is yes, secondary, but also we really spend time on the creative elements of the shoe. We really think about it as an expression of Diadora. So
yeah, for sure.
And I'm glad you appreciate it.
I do, and this is one of those shoes that it definitely you can get longer runs in it. It's very comfortable underfoot. So I feel like at 10 miles, 15 miles, whatever you want to do in it, it's an everyday daily trainer that also works for pretty much whatever you need to throw at it. Since this is made in Italy, a little bit higher price point than your, typical shoes that are mass produced in Asia. So what are we looking at as far as price?
Yeah, it's $240 to training shoe, everyday training shoe. The rest of our line is usually $155 to maybe $185, something like that. Yeah. But this is on the higher price point because we do the full manufacturing in Italy.
For sure. All right, well, thanks, Bryan, for coming on. I appreciate it and walking us through the shoe. Excited to see what's coming in the rest of 2023 and into 2024.
All right, thank you so much.
Yep.
Ciao.